It's thinking.
Dusty plains and broken dreams, Cowboys and Indians on the same team. We got no masters, only our creed to break the chains and set us free. Riders on the prairie, wild and free, bows and arrows, cold 45's decree. No more tyranny, no more lies, under open skies we rise. Fight, fight, fight till we reclaim the night. Cowboys and Indians in the blazing light. Fight, fight, fight till the dawn is near. We'll never live in fear. On the blood moon, we all unite. Horses thunder in the night. No longer slaves to the empire's might. Strength in numbers, strength in rise. From the blood moon we unite. Horses thunder in the night.
Welcome, my fellow tribe of patriots, to another episode of the Cowboys and Indians podcast. Today, well, we're going over a couple things, but as most of you know, Biden had called MAGA garbage. So, I've seen MAGA embracing this quite a bit, and figured that, hey, might as well embrace it because they're not actually insulting us the way that they think they are. They've been demonizing us for years, but Cowboys and Indians, episode 8, you guys. It is a beautiful Wednesday here in Washington State. My co-host, Steve, is down in Texas. How you doing today, Steve?
And Tejas, how's it going, brother?
Tejas.
Going all good. I went with the black. Kind of culturally appropriating trash
See,
bag.
I tried to culturally appropriate
Maybe I might
you,
get it.
you know?
What?
It's kind of like blackface, but it's like black bagging, black bodying, something like that.
I like that. I really do enjoy it. Man, it's wild how, the president of the United States wants to demonize half the country again. Remember back when he did that backdrop with the red and he was doing the
Oh yeah.
and doing all that stuff and talking about the soul, and I think it was when he was talking about the soul of the nation, and it's crazy. Donald Trump responded perfectly on True Social, and I dropped it on my ex, and he was like, "My name is Donald Trump, and 325 million people of this country are not garbage." And then it cut out. But the beautiful thing, he was wearing his vest right after he went and he did the working on the trash truck or the photo op or whatever you want to call it. But it was amazing.
Yeah.
You have to admit, that dude is the king of trolls.
Yes, he is. I mean, there's no way around it. He has been consistently trolling the left, and I mean, in all reality, they make it really, really easy. But you got to be witty in order to actually troll them the way that he does, because less than 24 hours, he's already coming out and worked in a garbage truck, has his own garbage truck. Is during his speech, he's wearing the garbage vest, or it's a high res vest, but beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Actually, I'm gonna pull up a picture of him really quick. So I'm trying to get. Okay, here we
go. Hey, Maurice. You know what Donald Trump just proved today?
Yeah. Oh.
That it is because of Bidenomics. Donald Trump has had to work 2 jobs because of this economy. He had to be a fry cook and to work behind the trash truck.
Yeah. All right, come on. Here we go. Check this out.
Go ahead.
So this here is how Donald Trump showed up to his rally. A sweet high res vest, because come on, the demonization of Trump supporters in general has been going on for the last 8-9 years. And I mean, honestly, yes. I'm so incredibly tired of it, because most of my time has been spent, like when I talk to liberals or lefties, most of my time has been spent like trying to convince them, like, hey, I'm not actually your enemy. I'm not the one that you should be mad at. It's the people up on high. But they've gotten to a point now where they've belittled and dehumanized MAGA so much that, I mean, they call us maggots, they call us Nazis and white supremacists. And I mean, you can go down the entire list.
Yeah.
And back in 2016, I remember noticing a pattern that the Democrats would have a tendency to attack the supporters of Trump when Trump was going after them, because they had a difficult time taking Trump directly on, but they had an easier time just demonizing his supporters, saying that his supporters are racist, his supporters are white supremacists, and they hate all brown people. And it's like that tendency has now turned into a habitual it's turned into habitual rhetoric for them. So they really just go hard after the idea, the straw man of the MAGA movement that they create in their head.
Yeah, honestly, it's crazy. I've been called every single name under the book, and you know what? People that are listening now, if they want to make a crappy comment towards me, I don't care, because I know who I am, and you know what? I don't have to sleep with you at night, so honestly, I don't care. So like, people like we mentioned this last episode where we talked about mass formation psychosis. This started in 2015, actually, right after Donald Trump walked on. You know, whenever he stated that he was running for president of the United States as a Republican, and he was largely a Democrat before that. So that pissed off a lot of people. And what it did is Hollywood. I think Hollywood's a big culprit, and these people that are on the D list and Epstein list and the deep state, whatever you want to call them, they're all interconnected. So they had a conglomeration, and they all came together, and they were all anti-Trump. And then every single thing since then, every single hoax, you know, for the last almost decade now, has been anti-Trump supporters. Oh, you're maggots, you're deplorables, you're whatever name we can call you. But we're at the point now where, like, what we're wearing tonight is a symbolization of where we are now. We don't care what they have to say about us, because, oh, they're calling us extremists. Oh, well, I guess it's extreme to support the Constitution, love God, support the First and Second Amendment. Oh, well, guess what? In my opinion, you're extreme. So let that be.
It's not just an opinion, though. I mean, this is provable by almost any metric that you can take. That's why people if you look at Trump's policies, he is a 90s Democrat for the most part. Okay. His rhetoric has changed and gotten a little bit more aggressive, a little bit, but in all reality, what does he want to do? He wants to build a wall. So did every human or I'll say every citizen in the country back in the 90s. And he returned the power of Roe v. Wade of abortion to the states, which is the opposite of a dictator. I mean, all of his policies he's saying that America is being ripped off by the world. That is not, I mean, we've literally been getting ripped off more and more and more, and giving away all this money that we print for years, and it's only gotten worse. His rhetoric has been the same since the 90s. What are we doing here? And I mean, Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., they're all Democrats. And all of a sudden they find themselves in the conservative movement, in the America First movement, in the MAGA movement, because of how far the left has gone with their policies. They don't want to build a wall anymore. Yes. They want no wall. Not only do they want no wall, they want to pay for everybody else in the world to once they travel to our border, they want to say, hey, we're gonna ship you around the country. We're gonna give you a free cell phone. Here, we already have this app downloaded, so that way it's legal. And and then they are radical, and they have extremist groups like Antifa that will burn down cities for 100 days straight, like they did back in 2020.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it hasn't been as more clear as it is now. We see what's really awesome about how we set up this podcast lately. We didn't set up this podcast many years ago where we weren't, I guess, maybe truly awake to all the BS that's going on. Now there are so many people that back us and back what we have to say, that we are the narrative now. The mainstream media, they are polling at 20% trust throughout the entire country, and that should tell you
Mhm.
everything that you need to know. It's people like me and you, Maurice, that are actually, we believe our own eyes and ears, and we don't live in this realm that they're trying to present to everybody, where Donald Trump's this racist. What racist thing has he ever said? Oh, he's being so racist whenever he said a prayer on the wall in Israel. I don't know exactly what it was, the Torah wall. I'm not, to be quite honest. I probably should know exactly what the wall is, but I don't, because it's kind of like a thing of Christianity. But
Yeah.
you understand what I'm getting at. This demonization of him, it's had the opposite effect for this last decade. It's brought everybody together, and it's come to a point where the Biden Harris regime, they have done so much over these last 4 years. It is bringing Democrats to the MAGA America First movement in droves, and you see this all over the place. Like I'll browse other social media, and I will see first time Democrats voting for Trump, or Democrats, voting for Trump, or I'm a first time voter and I'm voting for Trump. And like it's not just white people. I mainly
Oh
see
God, no.
minorities and all of this, you know what I mean? So the only people honestly that are attending Kamala Harris rallies are angry white cat liberal ladies. So I think
Pretty
we're
much.
beyond that point, and I'm very excited for this next week, to be honest.
Yeah, and as well you should be, because
Mhm.
I believe that there's enough people that are going to go out and vote that it is going to be impossible for them to rig it without getting caught. That, like, obvious, blatant uh, election interference that will get
Mhm.
overturned. And I don't
Right.
think that there's any way for them to make this work like they want it to. They wanted to force Kamala Harris into the presidency.
Mhm.
I mean, she is the first candidate in history to be completely fabricated by the media. Was one of the most hated candidates out
Yes.
of all the Democrats back in 2020, and nobody liked her up until the media was like, "Wait a minute, she's not Biden, because Biden can't say two sentences coherently back to back." So everybody
Right.
on the Democrat side who's been rooting for them and who is so tribalistic that they don't actually look at any policy issues, or they don't, or their money is
Mhm.
tied to, their income is tied to their
Yes.
support for the Democrat Party. Anybody who is like that, they were excited that they got a different candidate, and they're like, well, I mean, Kamala Harris is terrible, but she's better than Biden. And so they're just, they created this entire fake narrative at how Kamala Harris is
Yeah.
actually amazing. She's not actually an airhead or a low IQ person that is one of the worst people to give interviews ever. I mean, in as far as like
Mhm.
presidential candidates, Kamala Harris is definitely one of the worst. That's why she's not sitting down with Joe Rogan. That's why she flew
Oh,
out to
yeah.
go on the what is it, like, Call You Daddy? Is that podcast?
Yeah.
Which is like it's a nasty podcast. From the little bit I've heard from it
It's a
and
for
tried to do a little bit of
degenerates.
research on
Yeah.
it. Oh yeah, it's nasty, gross. But she flew
Mhm.
out to go on that podcast, and but
Right.
blames Joe Rogan for not coming to her and giving her 1 hour.
Yeah,
It's
it just goes to
just
show you. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maurice.
no. I mean, that's it. It's just she's a completely fabricated candidate that doesn't actually have support apart from the people who would. It's the vote blue no matter who crowd, and they really mean it. They're that intense with vote
Oh
blue no
yeah.
matter who. They don't care who it is. They
Yeah.
don't care what their plan is, but they're gonna vote for him because they're so loyal. Yeah, that's not patriotism. That's obedience to tyrants and
Not at
bullies.
all.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why she won't go on Joe Rogan like the way Trump did. And I think what Trump did, how he spoke, the majority of those 3 hours on Joe Rogan, it was a for lack of better terms, it's almost like he set the standard for any
Oh
other
yeah.
presidential candidate that wanted to go on a very high level podcast. If Trump came on here, dude, it would put us on the map. But anyways,
Yeah,
so
I'll try.
the reason why Kamala Harris never wanted to go on Joe Rogan, and the reason why she delayed and delayed, and then she said, "Oh well, okay, it's going to be an hour, and then you have to come to me," is because, well, you're a president for hire essentially, so you you should want to go on the highest podcast in the country and voice your opinion. But no, Joe Rogan is going to ask the questions to Kamala Harris that none of the mainstream media is going to ask. He is going to be point blank. Why did you allow tens of millions of illegals into this country? And she's gonna control blue screen of death. You know the old Microsoft computer screens. She's gonna freeze up. And I mean, if she was smart, she would lay it on Joe Biden, but she can't because she was the border czar. So she knows that this is a lose-lose for her.
Hold up, Steve. Don't go that far.
Uh-oh.
Don't you know she grew up in a middle-class family?
That's so lame.
All right, I want to show you.
Yeah, go ahead, do it. Go ahead, go for it.
I want to show you this video here real quick. I don't think you've seen this, so boom.
But it's intellectually dishonest for his supporters to suddenly be offended by President Biden's slip up, because I do believe it was a slip up, after all that their guy has said. He called all of America a garbage can. All of America.
For the record, we all actually agree on this.
Yeah.
I think that there's a complete.
Hey, when did he say that? Or when did he say anything?
Never.
Something like that. I don't know what she's referencing.
Freaking cackling here.
Yeah, I've been into politics for quite some time now, and I don't remember Trump ever saying anything like that at all. Like, it can't even be construed in that way.
Hang on. No, hang on. They said all of America is a garbage can. So is the view insinuating that Puerto Rico is a garbage can?
Oh, snap. Wait, but
racist.
Hold on. If all of America is a garbage can, then that would mean that they're all Trump supporters.
Touche, sir. Checkmate.
Cognitive dissonance. If Trump says something crazy and we dismiss it, but we all get outraged when someone else says. I just think to move beyond the era of Trump, you need leaders who aren't going to call names, who aren't going to play to his level. And that's why she did it.
But it's intellectually dishonest.
It is intellectually dishonest, guys, to use people's words against them. You cannot use exactly what they call. When they call you names, you just have to accept it. And then when they give out their fake bullshit apology later, you also have to accept that.
Dude, it's like, don't believe your eyes and ears.
Oh,
folks.
Caroline. Oh my God. What a based comment. That's incredible. I love that.
I love her. She's so awesome. I had to pull that up there.
Caroline for Congress.
But anyway, so
I'm gonna have to look that. I'm gonna have to look up her account. I gotta follow her. Follow you guys. Follow Caroline for Congress. That's a beautiful comment. Perfect,
man. So for all of you guys that are tuning in right now, me and Maurice are actually wearing trash bags. I'm wearing a 55-gallon commercial trash bag that is hanging on the floor because that's what I had because of Bidenomics, right? And then Maurice is wearing, I think,
and also 55-gallon trash bag. It's I'm actually.
I'm going to ask you to stand up and keep up with this lie. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, we're wearing this as a symbolic gesture. We're trying to point out that nobody in this country is garbage. Like, I don't necessarily, in my heart of hearts, believe that liberals are garbage. And, Donald Trump doesn't either, because he comes from a very versed background of all different makes and models of people. He's been influenced by so many people, and he is influencing people. He is America's he's the American dream in a nutshell. So
That's what every
I
rapper
do
said in
want
the
to point
90s.
out exactly Donald Trump as a billionaire relates to me more than Kamala Harris as a middle class, being raised by a middle class family, has ever had. Because Donald Trump connects to me on a much different level because he's a people person. And that's why he's been very successful in his businesses. And that is why he won his election in 2016 because he can connect with people. And this is why he's going to win in 6 days. So any of you fuckers that are trying to black pill right now, stop it. White pill, red pill. Let's go. We are going to win this, and we're going to push, and we're going to fight, and we're going to vote, and we're going to call out the people that are cheating in Pennsylvania right now, and we're going to make it known because you know what? Now that we have Laura Trump as head of the RNC, things are getting called out, and things are changing right now, and they're changing for the better. So let's go, America.
Hell yeah. There's patriots everywhere, man. Like when they try to cheat this time, they're going to be seen. They're going to be recorded. They're going to be caught. They're going to be tried, and they will be punished. There's no more excuses for it. Nothing like 2020 where they were covering up. You're not allowed to watch them count the ballots because the COVID might get through the glass or whatever they were trying to say to actually help their, I guess, push for Biden back then. But that stuff is just, that shit drives me crazy. But like I said, man, we got patriots everywhere now. Don't just assume that everything you see from now until election day, and maybe even a little bit after, is a psyop, and that they're trying to blackpill you. They're trying to make you think it is not worth voting because they're going to cheat. No, you have to vote. You actually have to get off your ass and go vote.
Absolutely. And every single story that comes out between now and then, use discernment, because a lot of people are sharing like old footage or some footage that can't be verified. And what they're trying to do, and a lot of these accounts are frauds. Black Insurrectionist was one of them. I believe he's on the hook for $8 million in fraud or something like that. Not even a black guy. He's I don't even know who he is, but he used like some Google image. Let me find some veteran that happens to be African American. Could be. I'm not sure, but just please be careful, y'all. Any post that you see going ultra viral, just please. I don't want to use discernment again but it is what it is. Just be careful what you're watching. Cheap rain poncho, roof rat. No, this is a 55-gallon industrial trash bag. Did you see a comment?
This is also the 55-gallon trash bag.
He's just much more stature of a man than I am, I assume.
All 5'10" of me. Actually, I identify as 6 foot, so there's that. Does that count?
Well, I identify as 6'3" because I am.
I didn't mean to play that yet. I wanted to get your reaction to this, Steve, because I put together a very short video about the progress of how they've programmed people to dehumanize Trump supporters. It started with Obama back in. Well, it may have started earlier, but this is just like the mainstream rhetoric that sticks in people's memories.
Get better. They cling to guns or religion or antipathy towards people who aren't like them, or a way to explain their frustrations.
Yeah, doesn't it suck when you have 20,000 Haitians imported into your town, and because you're religious, that's why you hate them? Like, no, it's because the grocery prices are going up. All of your tax dollars are being used for non-American citizens to get implanted into specific places around the country so that they can cheat when it comes voting time. That's why they're pissed. It's not because of God and guns. It's like, no, I have guns and I like those. And God isn't saying hate the Browns coming into your country. No. It has nothing to do with that. There's a whole bunch of reasons to hate illegals and foreigners.
Jeez, the rhetoric. Oh my god. Oh, is that Hildebeest? Oh.
Oh yeah. This is back when she was running for president.
Generalistic. You could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
Right? The only garbage
I've cut that clip a little bit short. I didn't realize that. But yeah. So that was Hillary Clinton saying that, guess what? We're basket of deplorables. Only half of us, though. I'm assuming that she's talking about all the white people. So I'm probably good from that, because they like to demonize all the white guys who vote Trump. So I'm assuming that she's talking about all the white people. So just you, Steve. I get clear of that one.
That's cool. I love being called racist. I really do, because I hate all people. So there we go. I'm just kidding. I love you all.
I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of things is unconscionable, and it's
President Biden.
Wait, hold up. What just happened there? Did I miss that, or?
Right?
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
His demonization of things is unconscionable, and it's
unconscionable.
After that statement, I think the funniest thing is how they try and twist it, and they're like, Biden didn't mean that clearly. It's like, no, that was a very direct and clear statement from Biden, which is actually surprising. But there's not really much wiggle room to say, like, he didn't actually mean Trump supporters, when there was nothing surrounding that clip that'll give it any more context that actually helps. I mean, I can play the entire clip for you guys, but again, there's no other part of that statement that supports that specific statement, because after that he goes on to talk about how a comedian demonized the Puerto Rico, or and how it's unconscionable and un-American, and like he made this statement and then he moved on. So there's nothing else to it. I don't know what to tell you. It's like that he said what he said. Accept it. And so I did.
Yeah,
I'm trash tonight.
It is what
garbage.
It is. Yep. That's my rally cry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what did Kamala have to say?
President Biden took his comment last night about garbage.
Listen, I think that, first of all, he clarified his comments, but let me be clear, I strongly disagree with any criticism of people based on who they vote for. You heard my speech last night and continuously throughout my career. I believe that the work that I do is about representing all the people, whether they support me or not.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. Kamala Harris being the great unifier.
I'm going to give that a 1 star on a Yelp review, because she is full of crap. So this is how communists work. They want to say, "Oh, we're trying to unify the people," and everything she's saying right now, these are the establishment campaign promises that if she steals the election, all right, let's be clear about this. But if she becomes in charge of power of some sort, she is going to renege on all of this stuff, and she is just going to further push this globalist agenda that she. Well, no, actually, let me recant that. It's not her that's doing this, because she's not smart enough to understand what she's doing.
True.
She's a Manchurian candidate, and there are people, there are handlers for her too. Some guy from Kenya, I don't know, but there's a person behind the scenes that is actually pushing for this, and this is going to be a 4th term. And before we go to break, before I remove this garbage bag, I want to address Joe Biden directly, because he has come out
under there.
Well, yeah, I have a T-shirt.
Oh,
so I'm sweating my ass off. Dude, if you go if you go topless, dude, we're gonna get like 100,000 people on here.
Should I? No, I won't. I don't want to do that. Can't let you guys see. It's only for my wife, or if I'm like if it's summertime or something. I just wanted to bring this up before we go to break. That the official transcript, because you were talking about this is how commies work, and this is exactly how they work. They revise history as much as they can. They try to destroy it. They try to erase it from all memory, but they're also doing it in real time because the official White House transcript says that I just played the quote for you from Biden. But the official White House transcript says the only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters, his demonization of Latinos is unconscionable and it's un-American. No, that's not what he said. This is the official White House transcript. They are in real time revising history.
Well, this is what they do. Yeah, absolutely. So they revised this, and they've revised other White House statements, and they're revising job reports, and they're revising the name of what marriage is or what gender is, or there are so many different things they're revising. They're trying to, but people are smarter than this, and I 100% believe in less than a week it's going to be a landslide, folks. And I am 100% on the white pill right now. I am full 100% Donald Trump, and I think the majority of the nation is.
Well, I'd have to agree with you. Hey, you guys, we are going to go to a quick commercial break for our sponsors, but when we return, we are actually having a guest on, Liberty Valkyrie. Her name is Heather 007 on X. Make sure to give her a follow, but she is you know what? I'll introduce her once we come back. But I'm excited to have her on, and hopefully you guys are too. So give us 1 minute. We'll be right back.
America faces challenges like never before. Economic uncertainty, social unrest, debt implosion. The foundations of our freedom are under attack. To restore strength, prosperity, and the American way of life, Trump must win.
I plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world.
Introducing the Trump token, blending the deflationary model of Bitcoin with the technological advancement of Solana. It's more than just a cryptocurrency. It's America's future medium of exchange. The Trump token pledges to donate 50% of proceeds, up to $50 million, to Trump's 2024 re-election campaign. Join the movement. Stand with Trump. Secure your future at thetrumptoken.com.
As we age, we lose a bit of energy. Of course, that's not our fault. Our bodies change as we grow. Healing patches rejuvenate your cells and in the skin play a key role in the aging process. Research has found that as we age, the number and function of these cells decline, which can lead to a decrease in skin elasticity and the development of wrinkles. But what if there was a product that could restore that spunk for more than just our skin? There is, and it does. The product draws out other huge benefits such as more energy, better sleep, reduced stress, and pain management. If you would like more information, please go to miraclehealingtherapy.com. That's miraclehealingtherapy.com. Here's that website address once again, miraclehealingtherapy.com.
Welcome back, you guys. Please, we have all the sponsors in the comment section below, or I guess not the description below. You can visit them. Yep. But we are bringing on Liberty Valkyrie, or Heather 007. So you can see. There we go. How you doing today, Heather?
Howdy and how.
How.
Oh, culturally appropriating from the get-go. I love it.
Yeah.
So Heather here is a veteran. She served 15 years as a diesel mechanic and a crew chief on C5s. veteran foster youth advocate, worked as the director of operations for veterans for Trump, the Trump Georgia chapter. And so I guess that's a pretty good introduction. But what are you doing today, Heather?
Hanging out with you guys now.
Oh, see, I like that.
Keeping up with the with all the happenings, and I tuned in before I came on, and one thing that I just have to wonder is, why does Biden get backpedal privilege? Why does he get to do that? Why does he have a whole team, a whole army of people that will support when he backpedals? But Trump gets taken out of context censorship.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just, when people say, oh, the media is not biased, it's a bunch of bull, because everybody will backpedal what Biden says. He has that privilege. Trump does not.
Well, I'd say that they actually,
because Donald Trump always talks about the deep state.
The enemy from within.
We're always talking over each other, me and Maurice. Go ahead, Maurice. I'll give you the floor.
We got a little delay. We're getting a little bit better at it, but I would say that it's a little bit worse, because not only do they not offer the backtrack for Trump, but they will intentionally interpret his words in the worst possible way that they can, and say that's how he's felt his entire life. This straw man that we create is now what Trump is, and what he has been, and what he will be in the future. Just imagine in the future, imagine how bad it can get if this is what he believes now. That's what he's going to believe in the future, and it's a scary, terrifying future. Be scared of that. Vote blue. Be scared, terrified.
Well, fear mongering. That's all that the left has. We saw it. They did it during COVID. They did it during the midterms. And it's just like, they need to not only terrify their base, but they need to dumb down and victimhood their base, so that they could be the knights in shining armor. And it's just like, what I love about Trump, in complete contrast, is he empowers people. And they don't like that. Democrats do not like people to be empowered, because then they think for themselves.
That's what you would call modern day slavery.
Go.
Slavery of the mind.
You have, well, absolutely. So just because nowadays there are no shackles or chains or anything, it doesn't mean there isn't slavery going on. The slavery happening right now is within the mind. So if the Democrats or the deep state or whatever you want to call these people, they're controlling the populace through ad campaigns and smear campaigns and what have you. These people, I think COVID was absolutely the precipice behind all of this that's going on right now. Because you remember, every single day on mainstream media, there was a tracker. How many active cases, how many deaths, and it triggered something in people's minds. It was almost, and it was like Mockingbird Media. Every single news station, even Fox News, they had this stuff going on. So it created this like, almost like, you have to trust us kind of narrative. And so now this was like, obviously, after Trump got elected. So this is where we're kind of what we're facing now. They've kind of established like a stronghold over some of the people, but I think the majority of the people they've seen what has happened over the last 4 years. They kind of understand. Well, hopefully, they're like, okay, I'm not beholden to that stuff anymore, because COVID is over, and now I kind of see, well, oh shit, you made me get the vaccine, or you allowed 10 or 15 million illegals into this country that are unvaccinated. Now, I had to get a vaccine or I was going to lose my job. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that a lot of people are awakened to this stuff. So what do you have to say about that, Heather? Because the spotlight's on you.
Yeah. So 6 feet was a line of, you know what?
Bullshit.
2 weeks to
Yeah.
Are we allowed to? What's the word? Okay. It was a crock of shit. 6 feet social distancing. Fauci even came out. We just thought of 6 feet because it sounded good. Rachel Maddow, who said, if you get the vaccine, you will not spread it. 100%. I mean, she basically like guaranteed that if you got the vaccine, you would A, not get it, and B, you would not spread it. Crock of shit. all the studies that they did were, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know this. When a pharmaceutical has to present their information to the FDA for approval, something that a lot of people don't know is those studies are paid for by Big Pharma, meaning that they tell them exactly what it is that they want them to look at. It's not a blind thing. It's not a third party. And the reason why they're able to get away with it, which hopefully RFK will turn around, is because they can claim that it's proprietary information that they don't want other people to have. So they can hide the ingredients, they can hide the process, they can hide the outcomes, and they can skew the statistics of these, like pregnant women. I believe it was some sort, first of all, the studies that they did on pregnant women, there was less than 200 of them for a population of what, a global population of 7 billion. And not only that, 72% of those pregnant women they lost track of. They didn't come back.
You know what I'd be really curious to know is how many studies they run that don't get published. Because is it possible that they run like 3 studies looking for the right outcome and they try different ways and then they kind of choose the one that they would like? I don't know if that's
no,
a thing.
100%. They will redo studies. This is common practice amongst Big Pharma. Is they get to set the parameters. They get to set all the different variables or non-variables to their studies, and they get to present the data how they choose to because they're protected under proprietary information, which is garbage, like us.
Well, just me now, since Steve was like, I'm going to put on a t-shirt. I didn't wear a t-shirt underneath this. I can't change it. I'm sorry.
Hey, Maurice, free the nib, baby. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll be Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Rip the shirt off.
Now. So there is a scientific process behind everything, right? And so these companies can forego a lot of these research activities that they're trying to do. So the thing is, when you do a scientific process, you have a problem, and then you have a thesis or a hypothesis behind it. And whenever it came down to COVID-19, the hypothesis, there was different things with the masks and all that. Oh my God, Eddie, sorry, he messed me up. He said, "I can see the nipple ring, dude." Oh my God,
I got no nipple rings.
Okay, so let me get off COVID-19. So de Blasio, do you remember that picture with him trying to sell cheeseburgers to somebody, to anybody during COVID-19? And he had straight up full rings, and they were protruding in his t-shirt.
Was that de Blasio? I thought that was
Sorry.
It was a Cuomo. It was one of the Cuomos.
Cuomo. Yeah, sorry, I got confused with Cuomo. Apologies. That's been burned in my brain forever.
Oh yeah, they're there. They're very, very interesting. Ooh.
But anyways, Heather, so what are you up to nowadays? I know you served in the military, Air Force, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
Say again.
No, go on. I didn't say anything.
No, I'm just saying, what are you up to nowadays?
So now I am. I got out due to an injury. I was changing a tire on a C5. I am not a very tall person in stature. I'm 5'3", so the tire was like up to my shoulder. Somebody yelled out, my name mid lift of the tire. I twisted, significantly injured my back, and coupled with some knee issues, that was kind of my exit from the Air Force. But I'm 100% disabled veteran now. So I decided to utilize my GI Bill. I went to esthetician school. And I went to a pretty intensive makeup school post, and I started a business, and that's kind of what I do. I'm taking a little bit of a leave of absence. I had some health stuff come up, so I'm actually not working probably until the beginning of the year. So right now I am advocating for Trump is exactly what I'm doing. That's
beautiful.
where most of my time's going.
Honestly, that's what you should be doing. Go ahead.
If you guys haven't checked out her account, please make sure to give her a follow over at Heather, or no, dang it. I keep
It's
saying
yeah.
Liberty
Yeah, her
Valkyrie.
display name is Heather. Yeah, Liberty Valkyrie.
Yes. And it's all spelled funny too, so. But yeah, give her a follow. She puts out great content. I mean, what's more American than that?
2A all day, baby. That's how we roll.
Mm-hmm. So you went from the whoa. Hold up. Okay. You went from Navy to giving facials as an esthetician. Did I got that right?
Air Force.
She was Air Force.
Oh, Jesus, how did I what?
That's okay. You know, it's funny. It's only like military people that will like the record will stop when you say the wrong branch, whereas other people like half the time they're like, "Oh, weren't you in the Army?" I'm like, "No, I was in the Air Force." You know, but, like when you don't grow up in the military or you're not part of the military lifestyle, we all just kind of mesh. You know.
Yeah, I never started. I'm the only non-veteran on this podcast right now. Yeah, I wasn't able to.
So,
two veterans, one.
You want me to give you a little a military story?
Let's hear it.
I love military stories.
Okay, so I was in Afghanistan in 2009, and so happened Fox NFL Sunday came out there. Holy crap, we might have ran into each other, but I don't remember you. But
were you all tatted up then, Heather?
I was within regs, but like, so I have knuckle tattoos, and I got the knuckle tattoos right before they changed the reg that you couldn't have tattoos on your hand. So I had to carry what we call an AFI, which is our Air Force instructions, in my pocket because I was grandfathered in, but in case somebody wanted to be like a dickwad and be like, why do you have tattoos on your knuckles? I could be like, well, according to the reg. And I was one of those types of people. I flirted with the boundaries enough, but I knew like where my place was. So I literally got my knuckle tattoos the weekend before the AFI changed. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
No, you're good. That was
I was just
like
trying to
epic.
jog.
Like,
I was just trying to jog a memory for Steve, so that way he'd be like, "Wait a minute, I do remember her."
I was in Kandahar. We were in Cowboys out of Kandahar, and we wore the red hats. I was with Red Horse. So we actually we're the only ones in the Air Force, I believe, that's allowed to wear ball caps and they're red. Which makes us look like
really
a target. Cool. I mean, obviously, when we were outside the wire, we did not wear our red caps, but inside the wire.
Well, for sure.
I don't have my MAGA hat. I don't have my red cap tonight, but I got this. So
there we go. Thank you. There we go. Full attire. So when I went to Afghanistan, I was RC East. So you were in Kandahar, but I was a little bit south in Khost province. Salerno. So we did a lot of stuff there. A lot of, I guess, classified stuff. But anyways, man, where was I going this? You kind of messed me up. Oh yeah, okay. So Afghanistan. So I was in Bagram, in the flagpole. Maurice kind of interrupted me on that, but it's okay. So I was in Bagram. Fox NFL Sunday came out actually one Sunday. Howie Long, Terry Bradshaw, very NFL Hall of Famer people. I actually got to shake Howie Long's hand, and I swear to God, that dude's fingers got to be like 10 inches in circumference because they're so big. And like I shook his hand, I was like, oh my God, I'm 6'3" and I'm a fucking peon. But I shook his hand or whatever. So anyways, so the show carries on or whatever. And they're kind of broadcasting and they said, hey, everybody, Army. And it was like, yeah, Marines, yeah, Air Force, yeah. And then it came down to Coast Guard. Woo! There was one coastie in the entirety of Afghanistan that happened to be there. And I'm like, wait, hang on. Afghanistan is landlocked. Why is a Coast Guard person here? But anyways, so that was my story. You're welcome.
That's funny. So it was like all these roars of like, yeah, all this stuff. And you just have a whoa.
Right.
See, that would be if Kamala Harris's crowd was actually legit. Yeah, like if you had all the presidential candidates, if you had Trump and RFK and Elon, you could shout all them out, and then you go and Kamala Harris, there'd be one like, woo, And it'd
all
be
Coast Guard people right now are going to be so pissed that they're being
Well, no,
compared
like
to
so the Kamala
Harris.
Harris one would be the Kamala Harris shout would be like a woman, but whoa.
Woo.
oh, woo.
Rhonda.
Kind of like I actually wanted to get to this really quick. And I wanted your opinion on this, Heather, because Jennifer Aniston has 44 million followers on Instagram, and she shared that she's now voting for Kamala Harris. She said, "Today, not only did I vote for access to health care, 2 words, not one for some reason, but health care, for reproductive freedom, for equal rights, for safe schools, and for a fair economy, but also for sanity and human decency." So for one, she thinks of you as trash. I mean, I wouldn't really expect anything else from an unmarried, childless, rich white lady who hasn't seen like the average person, apart from like her fans running up to her for many, many decades. I mean, how old is she? She's like in her mid 50s, right? So I just kind of wanted to get your reaction to all the celebrities coming out in support of Kamala Harris as of late.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's blasphemous. I think that it's narcissistic. I think that it's egotistical, that because they happen to have, why should I listen to Jen? What about her life is similar to mine? And it's kind of like, somebody gave me a piece of advice one time that was, never take advice from somebody you wouldn't trade places with. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't trade places with Jennifer Aniston's bank account, but I don't think that I would trade places with her. I mean, no, I would trade places with her bank account, but I don't think that I would trade places with where she's at in life. I do not want to be in my 50s, childless, without a spouse, and having to live in a glass house sheltered when I have to go out in public by either security guards or people, because I don't want to interact with the ones that supposedly love me. So it's just kind of like,
No, they're the undecent ones. Yeah, you remember she said she's it for sanity and decency for humans. And so she sees most of the people out wherever she goes in public, they're not decent and they're not sane.
but she also lives in California. And so, I'm originally from California. And I will say California is, as much as they want to claim progression and this and that, it is the biggest friggin' bubble on the planet living in California. And when I was there during the 2020 election, I felt like I was crazy. I literally started to think, am I the crazy one? Like, and you really start to second guess yourself, because when you live in those types of places, the rhetoric and the propaganda, they live by it. I would take my dog on a walk on a trail when we were supposed to wear masks. It was almost like people would get mad at me that my dog didn't have a mask on. Or, like I was in Costco and my son at the time was 6 months old. His grandmother leans over, and he was in one of those strollers that had like the big covering on it. Obviously he wasn't wearing a mask. His grandmother reaches in because I was leaving to give him a kiss. She takes her mask and goes like this. Everybody in the line about had a conniption fit because she was 2 feet away from her own grandson and nobody else's parameter. And they start yelling at her, put your mask back on. And we were just like, she's kissing her 6-month-old grandson because I'm leaving the store before they are. Like, so my point is you have all these people that are living in these secular bubbles where their entire life is literally enclosed to whatever, like it's a pure echo chamber. So F what she says, bottom line.
Hey, I like that. I mean, in all reality, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, how it's unique with Trump to relate more to people like us. And I think it's because he has the ability to actually put himself in our shoes. Like he hasn't, like he was not raised in a middle-class family, unlike Kamala Harris, who was definitely raised in a middle-class family. He was not raised in a middle-class family. No, that's exactly. Yeah. But he is able to actually see the struggle of someone like me and you guys here, because he actually listens to what the people say. Like if you look into it, there's so many people who work for Trump or who've worked around Trump, who've interacted with him, saying that they'll actually have a conversation with him, and like he'll ask like their opinion on something, and then he'll actually listen. So he actually takes that into consideration when he's giving those speeches, and when he's criticizing what the government's doing. Is he actually goes out and he asks people, and it's not like this big well-known thing, because it doesn't need to be. Right. But that's what he does. Really quick, I did want to say shout out to Ronnie Chapa. I don't have the ability to actually put the super chats on the screen, but he did say, "What's up, guys? Keep up the good job," with $10. So I really appreciate that, Ronnie. Thank you.
You know,
seems like we're doing pretty well.
One thing about Trump is I'll try to make it real quick. I think right now he's a breath of fresh air for America, because we are so over being inundated with the propaganda. We're over being inundated with the politically correctness. We're done. Like, we are all done. You can call me a racist. It doesn't matter anymore, because I was called a racist just because I'm a white woman, you know? And so I feel like every time Trump makes what people are calling outlandish comments, they're not really outlandish. It's everything that we're all thinking and we're all saying, and he's saying it on a bullhorn, and the rest of us are cheering him on, because that's what we want. We want authentic. I want somebody that's going to mess up or say something that's maybe a little bit crass, because that's how we all are. Kamala is this overproduced, scripted propaganda train that is being told in earpieces, or being told by, she's BFFs with producers at ABC. They are scripting every single thing that she does, So I think with Trump, the reason why he's connecting to people is because he's authentic as you know what?
Fuck would be the answer.
Yeah.
Ow.
And also with Donald Trump, so he relates to people in like a workplace. So you have supervisors and you have leaders. Supervisors supervise and leaders lead. The people that are leaders, they attract the most rapport amongst subordinates. So, for example, at my work, I'm a safety guy, and I know Maurice hates that because he does a lot of things that are very unsafe on his job.
Hey, no. I'm super safe. I follow every rule, probably.
Super safe. He's even got a forklift license. But
I do. It's expired, but I got it.
I have one.
Well, okay. Well, you guys got me beat. Okay, I can't talk that much crap. But anyways, so the way I operate, I do not expect any of my subordinates to do anything I wouldn't do myself. And that's what Donald Trump does. He does everything that he expects this country to do. And oh my God, OSHA's watching. Man, these comments are like really getting me tonight because they're so good. But this is what separates Kamala and like the establishment people. They tell you what you want to hear, because everybody wants a warm and fuzzy, oh my God, these politicians are going to save me and they're going to use my taxpayer money correctly, which is horseshit. Donald Trump is saying, look, this country is a shithole right now, and we need to fix it, or this country is going to go under. We are about $44 trillion in debt. We need to control this deficit. And guess what? We have Elon Musk. He cut his staff on Twitter by 80 to 90%. And thank you, Elon Musk. If for some reason you're watching, God bless you, sir. Please promote this podcast. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, so
how cool would that be?
So, dude, if he just chimed in, hi, dude, I would lose my shit. But anyway, so but you know where I'm going with this. If we need to trim the fat, and Donald Trump is actually the first person to actually say that. Hey, look, we need strong borders, a strong military. We need to make America first. And honestly, it should be America only for a little bit right now.
No, he's
just because
he's been saying that.
How distraught this company has been, or this country has been for a while. So the deep state, they're terrified because of all the things that Donald Trump is presenting. With this, also the Epstein and the Diddy list coming out, or the JFK files, that's a lot of crap, and the deep state is terrified. So all
They
this
should be.
propaganda that you're seeing over this last week, they're coming for him because they know he's going to, because he's only got 4 more years, and he's got the 4 years, and he's going to lay it down.
Yep. Well, and the other thing too is they get on him about the tariffs and how horrible of an economic idea that is. But what they forget is after the world wars, Germany rebuilt their economy with tariffs. Vietnam, after that war, rebuilt their economy with tariffs. Japan, after World War II, rebuilt their economy with tariffs. In fact, the Bahamas have the highest tariffs, and they have some of the lowest. They generate like 67% of their income is from tariffs. So like when people want to bag on Trump for these tariff ideas for bringing manufacturing back to the United States, number one, also the corporate tax cut that he's talking about will only be for corporations that produce and manufacture in the United States. If you are a company that is not doing that, you are not getting that corporate tax cut. So whenever, again, it's that backpedal privilege. Donald Trump doesn't have that. What they do is they just give him taken out of context, and that's it. And they don't show exactly what his policies or background information on it. A company is not going to be facing tariffs if they have a plan to manufacture in the United States. It's that simple, you know?
You know what really bugs me, Heather, is the fact that how entitled the government feels to our money. Because not only do they take as much as they possibly can and then demonize when another politician wants to give tax cuts, like, oh, can you believe he wants to give tax cuts to the rich? That's our money. It's like, no, it's not. It's actually my money that you guys are spending. And not only that, you're printing more than I can even make in my entire lifetime. They just gave to Lebanon for some fucking reason, like $535 million. That's more than my entire bloodline has ever paid in taxes. And they're just like, yeah, here you go. Oh, Ukraine, here's another 16 billion. Like,
well, and it was also the timing of the Lebanon money because of the fact that Hurricane Helene had just gone through our country, and it was like days after. It's like, well, FEMA hasn't showed up to North Carolina yet, but while Kamala's in a Hermes belt that is more money than she gave to the victims, by the way, she's posing for her shot about how proud she is to give Lebanon all this money when you aren't even giving it to your own people.
Yep.
Damn true. Yeah, I'm tired of them just acting like they get that it's their right to take as much money as they can. Trump will talk about no tax on tips. Trump will talk about eliminating the income tax, which would be the most revolutionary thing to happen since they fucking created that shit. And like, they shouldn't get every chunk of change that is transferred in this country. And you know how to deal with that?
Elon Musk.
Well, yeah, it's to force them to stop just spending the money willy-nilly and acting like they have the right to make all these programs and all of this without any of our consent. Not only that, saying that they are going to create this temporary program that all of a sudden lasts 60, 70, 80 years. And they just keep doing this shit. And so we just need to stop. It is so tiring. And
dude, despicable.
Yeah. It is. You guys, Heather, I really want to thank you for coming on. And we got to wrap up the show, though. We're starting to go just a little bit late. It's not that late, but it's a little bit late. You guys make sure to follow Heather at Liberty Valkyrie. I can't see it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Make sure to give her a follow. And okay, I'm struggling here. Okay, I got it. I got too many tabs.
Zoom it in.
I'm trying to find it. Yeah. So that's LIBERTYVALKYRIE. Liberty Valkyrie. Heather, thank you so much for joining us today. 123,000 followers.
Awesome.
Man, you are blowing up. Anything you want to say
Let's
before
go.
we get out of here, Heather?
No, thank you guys for having me on. I love your show. I love interacting with you guys, on the platform. And it's it's really a breath of fresh air to be surrounded, even if it's a social media setting, with like-minded people who get it. You know, it's like we're all fighting the same fight, and I'm just glad to be on this side.
The right side, the side who actually embodies diversity and patriotism. They don't just preach about it. They don't just hire people based on race alone. No, we embody what it means to be diverse, because we are a cultural melting pot, not a multicultural society. We all bleed red, white, and blue. We're Americans, and we actually embody those values.
Hell yeah.
Steve, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Hey, we are less than 1 week until the most important election of our lifetime. Please go out. If you still have early voting, please go out and vote. And if you're a traditionalist and if you want to vote on election day, please verify your ballots. That's all I have to say. Let's make America great again.
Hey, man, that's a hell of a reminder, too, is yes, make sure that your vote actually counts. Not only do you have to get off your ass and go vote, but you actually have to make sure it counts, too, because there's some things happening behind the scenes that you guys don't know about. And Heather, I just want to say that the Patriots Prayer Network is actually planning on hosting events. And so the next event we have, I would like you to be there. It'd be really cool. So I'll let you know about it. But it's kind of in the works right now, in the early stages, you know, and we're doing our best to get that together. But you'd be an awesome Patriot to have. You guys make sure to give her a follow. Give Steve a follow at Steve Loves Ammo. Give us a follow on Rumble at rumble.com/thepatriotsprayer. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Give Native Patriot a follow if you don't follow him either.
Oh yeah, that too.
Everyone got shout outs. You needed one too.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the 8th episode of the Cowboys and Indians podcast with our special guest, Liberty Valkyrie, or otherwise known as Heather. Good night, guys. Take care.
Dusty plains and broken dreams, Cowboys and Indians on the same team. We got no masters, only our creed to break the chains and set us free. Riders on the prairie, wild and free, bows and arrows, cold 45's decree. No more tyranny, no more lies, under open skies we rise. Fight, fight, fight till we reclaim the night. Cowboys and Indians in the blazing light. Fight, fight, fight till the dawn is near. We'll never live in fear. On the blood moon, we all unite. Horses thunder in the night. No longer slaves to the empire's might. Strength in numbers, strength in rise. On the blood moon, we unite. Horses thunder in the night.